History of the 55th pick, which the Lakers have. It's a lot of guys that either are development guys or don't have a ton of on their resume. Some decent overseas experience there when Josh and I were grinding some overseas tape.
People remember Kyle Guy from Virginia, but it's not even a lot of big, and Aaron Wiggins from Kentucky, not even a lot of big college names.
Yeah, so I had Josh make that just, I feel like the nepotism angle has run wild. And it's just like, guys, the 55th pick usually doesn't work out, so you can take a flyer on a superstar son. So what are the chances that they select Bronny?
I think it's darn near 100%. I think Bronny will be, assuming he's there, I don't think any other team's going to take him. They will take him at 55. I think LeBron will re-sign with them for 3 years, $160 million, and they will play together, and it'll be a great story. Mm-hmm. Look, the nepotism angle, it's obviously there. I don't think they draft a player the equivalent of Bronny at 55 if he's not LeBron's son. But nepotism is rampant in the NBA. Michael Malone, David Adelman, anyone? Yeah. Their fathers coaching the league. That's just to name a few. Mm-hmm. All right, it's throughout the league. And so what LeBron is doing is giving him a chance. And if I do think Bronny, I think his work ethic, his character is great. I think he has enough athleticism. He's actually fairly athletic. He shoots it well enough. And I think that this will be a good move. They develop him. I think the only thing that would mess it up, Nick, and I don't think this will happen, but if LeBron pushed JJ or them to play him when he's not ready, and I don't think
I don't think that'll happen. I'll give my answer in a moment, but first I just want to ask you a direct question because you said assuming he's there. There is now more bubbling, call it, takes that why wouldn't a team, because what's the history of the 54th or the 53rd or 52nd pick, not much better, use that pick on Bronny and then tell the Lakers, we want 2 second-round picks for him. To draft him purely because we know you want him, Los Angeles, so we're going to draft him and then make you pay 150 cents on the dollar because you want him and he's more valuable to us than the 50-whatever pick of the draft. Do you think that is a likely outcome tonight? That a team drafts him as a trade asset?
It makes some sense. Here's why I say it won't happen. And look, Rich isn't the only one. He's arguably, Rich Paul, the most powerful agent in the game. But there's a handful of guys like him that are powerful. And Rich has a lot of players. And if you draft Bronny for that reason, you're clearly not trying to develop him.
Right.
All right, so now he's not in a good situation, and you've upset one of the most powerful agents in the game who has a lot of players. So I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, I think it'd be great if a team drafted him because they're like, we actually think he's more valuable than the guy
and I think
who's on the board.
LeBron would be on board with that.
100%.
Right.
All right, so here's the thing. Here's what I will say about the nepotism angle. Shout out to Tom Haberstroh, 2 fire articles in the last couple of weeks, debunking the 1988 Defensive Player of the Year award.
I wasn't there for that show.
And I'm sorry. Well, you should have been.
Debunk is a little strong.
Why don't you read the article?
I've read the article, and I've read the counter articles, and I really like Haberstroh.
Okay.
But we need another bite at that apple.
That's fine. Sorry, buddy. That's what happens when you miss work. But the other article that he wrote
that was
today, or not today, but that is relevant today, is he looked at what colleges overperform draft slot. And so the number 1 college that overperforms draft slot since 1989 is Kentucky at 26%. Number 2 is Texas at 25%. Number 3 is UCLA at 24%. Sadly, Syracuse the worst. They underperform by 48%. That's a bummer, but whatever.
Does that mean Bayham?
So again, the best was Kentucky at 26%. Kids of NBA players.
Oh, I like this.
Overperform draft slot by 30%.
Yeah.
So the nepotism angle is people hear LeBron, they're like, oh, that's the whole thing of it. There is some real data to suggest there is an undervalued resource in, his dad played in the league.
Yeah.
And by the way, that makes sense, not only from a genetic standpoint, but also coming up around the game, being comfortable, all those things. And there was a kid that went in the lottery who averaged 2.5 points a game in the Australian League. Or went in the 20s, I should say. So I understand Bronny's college stats are not good at all. Go check the college stats of everyone that was a first-round pick, and you'll see some that look like Bronny. So I just don't think it's an outrage that this guy's going to be a second-round pick. And I think that even if LeBron were retired, there would be a team that'd be like, you know what? You know what I think's worth a flyer? LeBron James's son.
Yeah.
Because, and so I think, so by the way, read all of Habershaw's articles, particularly the one on the defensive player of the year.
Debunk's a little strong.
He
still would have won
certainly
it
threw a little.
without the home cooking.
New York, S-Bob, next on FS1 and Fox Sports Channel on Sirius XM.
By the way, who's a player's son? Rick Brown. He was SEC Player of the Year and projected top 10 pick. Rob Pelinka thrilled. Take a listen.
We would have never imagined a player as skilled and sort of perfect for our needs would be there for us as Dalton Connect. We had him, as a top 10 player unanimously across our scouting boards. I was at the SEC tournament scouting him extensively, and in my mind was like, there's no way a player like this could be available for us to pick on draft night.
Okay, how happy should Lakers fans be?
I mean, I credit where it's due. I've been a very vocal critic of Rob Pelinka in the Lakers front office, but this is, I think, an exceptional pick. This is a kid that scored 35 or more 6 times in just the last year. He was a smaller college and then was at Tennessee. He doesn't have the rivals pedigree that you guys know I value. But his 1 year of big-time college basketball, he was exceptional. I was certain San Antonio would take him at 8 if he were there. And then when he started dropping, I was like, Daryl's going to get him at 16 because he will spread the floor and, be a plug-and-play. Again, rookies don't typically have a huge impact in the league, but if they have one elite skill set, you can sometimes drop them in and they do something like what the Mavs were able to do with, the center, Derek Lively. It was, and they can make an impact. So there haven't been a lot of moves Lakers front office has made that I've applauded. I applaud this one wholeheartedly. I think this is an excellent pick.
Look, he started junior college. He played, 2 years at Northern Colorado?
Yes, and then was great at Tennessee.
All right, he's 23 years old playing against kids that are younger than him. They shouldn't be happy. They should be ecstatic! Ecstatic!
He got you again.
I got you.
He got you again. He got you again.
No, but I'm with Nick.
Yeah.
I love the pick.
Yeah.
And I know he is 23. And
I don't care about
something, but
I care about the top 3 picks.
But here's the reason scouts do look down on that, because you are playing against younger kids. Everybody your age that is really nice is already in the NBA. However, players like this, it's kind of like the Villanova guys. They come in. I love his journey. Like the fact that he has gone from JUCO to Northern Colorado to starring at Tennessee, it shows a work ethic. It shows a mental toughness. And I think he's going to come in, he's going to be a sponge. He's got some athleticism, even though people know him for his shooting, but he can create his own stuff. I'm not predicting stardom, but I think he is a great pick at 17 and a guy that can really help them out.
Can I say one thing for the Lakers specifically? Assuming LeBron's back, I want a guy at 17 that is older. I don't want the 19-year-old with long-term upside who's not going to get on the court for a long time. If I'm drafting
these
for
guys
this,
come in and help right away.
I would like a guy that, maybe even as a rookie, he can give us 16 minutes a night and spread the court and hit threes. Like that, to me, it makes more sense for this Lakers team than for a team that's, rebuild or, has a long journey ahead of them. You take the more upside younger kid.
Okay, we'll check in on the Lakers' second-round pick, which might be Bronny James. LeBron worked out with both of his sons this week and wrote on Instagram, "Pop's over here getting emotional just thinking about your journeys so far." That's really sweet.
Live from New York, it's the show that just loves lasagna.
This guy is just out of his mind today. He's fresh off 4 days in Italy, can't stop talking about it, and is out of his mind.
The food.
He comes in hot
No one
take.
talks about it.
It's like, the
What's
food in
great?
Italy.
You didn't know the food?
No, it's like
was
seeing,
great.
it's like when we knew Wemby was tall and we went to see him like, everyone talks about it, not enough at the same time. First things first. Today, are we hours away from the Lakers having Bronny James on the team, but not LeBron? Is he officially?
Well, no, we can't be hours away from that.
Maybe he's an unrestricted free agent.
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
I had a question mark on that one.
Yeah.
There's a no.
Meanwhile, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, the Knicks have the third best championship odds. Is it S-Bob in New York?
Absolutely.
And finally,